Welcome back to another episode of the Bryan Wilson Love Show. My guest today is American Idol, Zachariah.
Hey, what's going on?
How you been?
I'm doing great, man. Doing great. Just got back from Los Angeles, and now I'm trying to get back into the method of the old life.
So my first question for you is, what was the American Idol audition like?
The American Idol audition was a lot of fun. We drove out to Nashville actually, and everybody was super nice, and it was definitely an audition I'll never forget.
What advice would you give to somebody who wants to audition?
For somebody that who wants to audition, if you're nervous, it shows that you care. And I would just say go in there and have fun. I mean, honestly, be yourself and allow yourself to become your own artist.
I hear that do you get to meet the judges at the first audition or is there other rounds that you have to go through?
Yeah, so there's two different versions of rounds that you have to go through, and there'll be a producer's round and then an executive producer round. And after that, then you get to meet the judges at the third audition.
How's that meeting the judges?
Oh my gosh, the first time I ever walked in and found them, saw them and whatnot. I was starstruck, and so I just sat there for a minute, and then the audition began.
Were you like, oh my God, do I sing? Or like what were you like frozen first?
Yeah, I mean, they were talking to me, and they were asking me questions about who I am as an artist and what my musical background was, and so I'd been telling them, but I was just really starstruck in the moment because it's not every day that you walk in and just get to see Lionel Richie, Katy Perry, and Luke Bryan. Hurt So Good. That was my mom's favorite song growing up, and so I grew up raising, or my mom raised me on that song, and so I just I had a special connection with it, and I knew that that song would probably be a good song to start out with.
That's awesome. Your audition was my favorite for the season, just letting you know. I
Well,
I don't
thank
even know
you.
how many times I watched it. I was like, her so good.
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
No problem. Was there any other song choice that you could have went with, or was it that song?
Yeah, I was originally gonna do Old Time Rock and Roll by Bob Seger, but then I was like, I feel like Hurt So Good shows off just a little bit more vocally, and it kind of gives a little bit more of a character side of it as well. So,
When you got your golden ticket, what was that experience like?
oh my gosh, to hold my own golden ticket for the first time, I was honestly, I mean, you sit there and you'll look at it and you see how shiny it is, and you're just like, wow, I can't believe I got this far. Now, it's on to the next round.
Do you get to keep it?
We do get to keep it. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
What was Hollywood Week like?
Hollywood Week was very busy, very stressful, but it was still a lot of fun. But that's definitely the point in the competition where they try to break you down, I would say. Um, it's almost like the military in a sense. They'll break you down to build you up who you need to be. And Hollywood Week will definitely do that to you, especially with the solo round, duet round, and then the showstoppers. It's all back to back. You do lots of filming, being on camera all day, and vocal coaching and rehearsing, and so it's definitely not meant for anybody. It's definitely not meant for the weak. I'll say that. But I think if you're a fighter and you know that you want to do this for the rest of your life, you'll do anything it takes.
What was the most trickiest challenge of the Hollywood Week for you?
The trickiest part for me was definitely the duet rounds. We were given a a very good project. Going off 48 hours with maybe 40 minutes of sleep at most. And so we were just very, very exhausted, very tired. And at that point, you have to really, really you have to put on your game face and just go out there and give them the best that you can give them.
I don't think I could do that because I see some people. I was like, oh, that's a little tricky. But
Yeah, it's very tricky. I'd struggled through the duet week, very much so. Not That probably wasn't the best experience of American Idol, but it also shows, how hard we really do work, and it's very tough to get out there and sing the next day for those judges after staying up all night.
After you did American Idol, you think you would do it again sometime again down the road?
I think now with me doing American Idol, since I made it to the top 10, I wouldn't be able to re-audition anyways. But if I was able to, I probably wouldn't, just in the sense of me knowing that, I did the show and I made it as far as I did, and now is the time that I, separate myself from the show and I have to become my own artist and not just what people know me as from American Idol.
What do you know now that you didn't when you first auditioned?
I learned that there's a lot of work that's put into the music industry. And you have to always be on your game and always expect, those early wake up calls and just prepare for long days and working really, really hard.
Was there ever a song that you learned on the show that you didn't know the words to, and you're like, "Oh my God, do I know this or will I get it?"
Yeah, for sure. That song for me was in duet round. I'm Still Standing by Elton John. It was a little bit more of a trickier song. I knew the hook, but it kind of just got to me after, staying up all night, barely having any food in my belly, and we just started to forget everything. And so that song was a little bit more tricky for me.
What were you what were you thinking when you made top 10 and top 5?
When I made the top 10 and top five, I mean, first off, to make the top 10 was just amazing. Considering how many people has auditioned for the show and, how many people actually get accepted. So to be in America's top 10 was pretty cool. And then when I got to top five, excuse me, I think that's when I realized, we got a lot more people voting than I thought we ever would have. And so, it's like almost everybody came together and united to push me through to the next round.
When did your American Idol experience hit you? Like when did you realize it was all real to you?
I learned that it was all real to me once I got to the audition city in Nashville and I saw Ryan Seacrest skateboarding down the hallway. Um, that's probably when it started hitting me. Honestly, no, I think after Hollywood Week and after we got to Hawaii, I think that's when I started to be like, okay, this is actually, this is settling in. We're in the process now.
How cool was it performing in Hawaii?
Hawaii was a lot of fun, and I would definitely recommend going to Disney's Aulani Resort. It was beautiful. Such a great time. Such a great time.
Did you get to do any sightseeing while you were there?
We had went out to a couple of places. We went off of the North Shore and we spent the day there. It was really, really fun to go and see.
For the finale, what was it like to perform with Ario Speedwagon?
To perform with REO Speedwagon, that was definitely one of a kind. Kevin was so much fun to work with, and he's definitely one of those guys that you would hope to work with in the future. He came in there and he had just done a show the night before, so his voice was kind of off, but he gave it his best, and I think he sounded really really good. And I hope to work with him and REO Speedwagon again in the future.
Did he give you any advice?
Yeah, he told me to just keep doing what I was doing, and he invited me eventually down the road to come to one of their shows and do some stuff with them.
Awesome. Are you going to do it, you think?
Oh yeah, of course, of course.
Who was your favorite mentor, like celebrity mentor to work with?
This year, my favorite celebrity mentor was probably Adam Lambert. He was an American Idol rock and roll icon. Now he's Queen's front runner um, as the lead vocalist, and so once I got to meet him, I was like, okay, well, this is the guy I need to be talking to. I voted for Adam in his season of American Idol, so it's really cool to meet him, and he gave some really great advice. Giving me different methods of how I could sing things or interact with the audience, and so it was really cool to meet him.
That's awesome. Do you think you'll go to any of his shows, like open up for him?
Oh my gosh, I mean, I would love that. That would be really really cool. But I don't know. I guess we'll see what the future holds.
Are you planning on releasing any tour dates or any shows anytime soon?
Yeah, I'm actually getting ready to do a show right now in my hometown, Wabash, Indiana, and we're almost completely sold out. Tickets went on sale this morning, and we almost sold out within an hour. So I think there's maybe 100 something seats left. But yeah, we're planning on doing a lot of shows, and I'm planning on getting some new music out and recording an album and hoping to release it, and we'll see where it goes.
Have you ever thought about writing Christmas music?
Have I ever thought about writing what Christmas music?
Mhm.
For sure. I've definitely thought about writing Christmas music, and I would love to come out with something this year. And I just might do it. I don't know. I guess we'll see how this next album goes. And off the release single of American Grace, we're currently publishing that right now, and it's becoming a huge song.
Great song, by the way. I've been listening to it.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
What was it like working on that song?
Oh, that was a lot of fun. We got to go into Sound Factory. I worked with Oak Felder, and he's worked with many people that we know in today's music industry, like Doja Cat, Demi Lovato, Nick Jonas. So I mean, he's definitely a character. He's fun to work with.
What was it like filming the music video for it?
Filming the music video, that was a little bit, it was a little bit rushed. There's not as much creativity as I that I wanted to put into it that was there. We just kind of had to get a visualizer out, but I would hope in the future that I can come out with an official music video for American Grace, and it'll be a lot better than the visualizer.
For those people who don't know what Amazing Grace is about, can you explain it?
Yeah, so American Grace is about this song. It's about this kid who's just been, going through a tough time. And so he eventually just, ends up getting together with a band, and they end up becoming he ends up becoming more than what he thought he couldn't. And so, I kind of relate to that song in a lot of ways. If he was ever struggling, the guitar was always there, it explains in the second verse of the song. And so for me, my guitar and my music was always my safe place, I should say. um and so that it's just become an anthem to me, and I think it could honestly be the song of the summer.
What have other people said to you about the song?
I mean, other people have loved the song. Friends and family called me as soon as it was released and said, how much they love it. And it's been getting a lot of streams, really good reviews. So yeah, hopefully we can take more songs like that and put a little bit more of a rock and roll edge to them, and hopefully I can get them released soon.
I have a fan question. She said, "Will you be creating some songs of country rock?"
Yeah, absolutely. So the vibe that I've been going for is that rock and roll, in which I love sticking to rock and roll, but I also got that country side to me. And so I think, like singing with REO Speedwagon, that song was, by a good rock and roll pop band, whatever you want to call them, but it was a country song. Um, so I definitely think country rock would be the lane to go for me.
And another fan question: Will you have merch for your at the concert?
I will have merch at the concert, yes, and we're currently working on making some new Zachariah t-shirts, so we're excited for those as well.
Do you by chance have a website?
Yes, I do have a website, and I think I will give that to you to put in the podcast as well.
All right. Have you thought about selling autographs or anything?
Yes, we will have autographs that will be for sale. As far as online goes, I'm not sure. I think it's gonna be $5 that for an autograph we may end up putting out there. So yeah, we got a lot of new merch coming out soon, and getting ready to get autographs out on this website, and hopefully, we can start doing some other cool things. I know that the fans would love, and I know that I would love it as well.
Are you working on any upcoming projects that you could talk about?
I'm currently working on a new album, and this album is going to be really cool, in a lot of different ways. It's huh. Most of them are originals, and I think I've had a few requests of people wanting me to do some of the covers of the songs that I did on American Idol, and so we may add in some of those as well. But for the most part, I want this to be, you know, my my signature album, I guess I should say. This is going to be the first album I'm putting out that is me, and it shows who I am, and it talks about my life stories and some of my creativity. And so I think I'm ready to put this album out.
What is your next big goal after Idol?
My next goal after Idol is to just, get as many shows in as I can. And not only that, but I want to, be able to still travel around America and, grow the fan base. And hopefully down along the line, I can, really take this music off to places that people never thought I could go. And, that includes being signed and, just making a name for myself.
What is your fan base name, or what do you want it to be?
I don't know. I mean, I honestly, I don't know just yet because I've been doing a lot of stuff with, some of the concerts I've been playing. I got some buddies of mine that, we kind of whipped up a band together last minute, but they're really fun to play with, really great guys. So I don't know. I guess that's for the future to say.
You think you would ever take those guys on the road?
I think so. I mean, if they were willing to do it, I think I would love to take them on the road. But like I said, I don't know where we'll be at, so we'll just have to see.
Have you been getting booked for concerts, meet and greets, and events?
Yeah, I mean, we've been booked left and right, and we've got a lot of cool things coming up that's not allowed to be announced just yet, but we have a lot of cool things that's coming, and hopefully I can get out to some of the other places where I know, a lot of fans are waiting for me to come and book. So, just all I can say is hold on tight.
Have you ever thought about writing a book? If so, what would it be about?
Um, as far as a book, I think I would want to. Uh, I think the book's not been written yet. I mean, I think someday it might be a cool idea to do that. But I still got a life, ahead of me, and um, I'm just now getting started, and I think I would like to, be on the road and experience what it's like to be that artist,
Mm.
and then maybe share that for people in the future to let them know, where I started and how I got there, and the whole journey process. I think I would like to share at a later time, in my life.
So, behind the scenes, did Luke, Katie, and Lionel give you any advice?
Yeah, behind the scenes, I mean, they're great to talk to. They're very sweet, down to earth, and they all three told me, each one of them individually, that I have a career and that they said to just keep on being who I've been and to not stop doing music. It's definitely what I am made for. I was born to be an entertainer, and Lionel told me to keep on going.
What was it like when they called you the big entertainer?
Oh my gosh, to make a name for yourself and to perform on one of the world's biggest stages of American Idol, that's pretty huge within itself. But I think that you know to for them to say that I've got a career and that I'm making it out here, that I think it just speaks for itself. It shows that I've been out here and I've worked hard and I made it as far as I did on the show, and now it's time for me to step off into this new chapter and to make something for myself.
Where is one place that you would love to perform, like your dream place?
One place that I would love to perform. Honestly, I'm not sure, but I think my dream place would probably be Nashville. I love to perform near Nashville, and I love just being in Tennessee in general. But I think honestly, if I'm going big here, I think I would definitely like to perform in the Miami area, maybe Orlando.
Would you ever like to perform at Disney World?
Oh my gosh, I would love to perform at Disney World.
What was Disney night like for you and your family?
Disney was so much fun. My kids loved the fact that we got to skip the line as much as we did, but that's what an American Idol pass will get you. And so we had so much fun. They got to see the parade, and they got their Mickey Mouse ears, and all their fun toys that Disneyland has to offer. So they had a lot of fun.
Did you get recognized a lot there?
Excuse me. Yes, I mean, we would go to each different ride. There would always be somebody who would notice. And then if they didn't, if the camera started following, then they would, realize that I was Zachariah Smith from American Idol.
Were they like, oh my God, wait, is that who I think it is? Or
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, some people would stop and ask, and then other people knew, and they were like, we've been watching, we're voting. So it was really, really cool. And I mean, everybody was so sweet. They didn't want to bother me and my family, and they asked really respectfully. So, I respect my fans and I try to take a picture with anybody.
That's awesome. So, what can fans expect at the Honeywell concert?
Uh, this Honeywell concert is going to be, I think better than any other concert that I had done before or any gig I've done before. This is just, this is the new start to who I am. And so, each time people leave my show, I want them to say, this has been the best show we've ever been to. And so, that's the goal, is to make these shows the best, and to be the best entertainer that I can be as well, and to show who I really am as an artist. I think fans can expect to see a lot of cool things and to have a really good time.
How has Idol changed your life?
Idols changed my life in a lot of ways. I'm definitely not flipping burgers anymore for a living. So, I'm just thankful for, what America and my fans have done for me, to get me this far. And, now, like I said, now we're just out here making new music and doing shows. And, that's the whole process.
Who is your American Idol and why?
Who is my American Idol and why? Um, I think for me, my American Idol was James Durbin. Um, he such a cool guy. First off, he was on the show many, many, many seasons ago. But the one thing that I noticed watching him was he was that rock and roll type of a guy, and he's really who inspired me to do rock and roll on the show was James Durbin. He's a great friend of mine. I talk to him all the time, and he gave me a lot of great advice throughout the season and through the show. So he was that guy that stood out to me.
What was the coolest event after Idol that you got to attend?
The coolest event that I've got to attend. I think when we got to go to Stagecoach, it was nearing the end of the Idol season. We got to go to Stagecoach and watch Luke Bryan perform live, and to have front row seats that people pay, up on hundreds of thousands of dollars for. We were so grateful for the experience, and I would love to maybe perform at Stagecoach someday myself.
Have any of the past Idol winners or past contestants reached out to you for anything, for like advice?
Um, not yet. I did have James Durbin reach out to me, of course. And Clay Aiken and Ruben Studdard. I had talked to them a little bit before the show, especially Clay. And Clay and I, he became a great support system for me. Clay saw something in me that not a whole lot of people seen yet, I guess, and so he knew what was inside of me, and he's seen it, and he gave great advice throughout the season, and he was really cool to work with as well.
One of my last and final questions for you is, if somebody was to play you in a movie, who would it be?
If somebody was to play me in a movie, who would it be? Oh my goodness, I don't know. I mean, I guess they would have to find. I don't know. I don't think there's really too many actors out there that look like me. Um, so I don't know. I guess I would have to hold on that one.
What is it like when people compare you to Adam Lambert? Like they say that you're the next Adam Lambert.
Yeah, I mean, I do get that comment a lot. People will say, you're the next Adam Lambert, you're the next Chris Daughtry. What I say to that is, these guys have went out there and they made something of themselves, and it's what they did with it after the show. And so that's who I hope to be. I hope to be like Chris Daughtry and Adam Lambert, getting out there and making a name for themselves and touring and doing concerts left and right. That's they're living the dream, and they're living out their big fantasies they had of going out and seeing their name in flashy lights. And so for me, it's just I want to get out there, and I want to be one of the world's best entertainers. So yeah, hopefully I can be just like those guys someday.
Have you ever thought about acting, like in TV shows, or
I have thought about acting, yes, and I love to do voiceovers as well. So who knows? You may end up seeing me in a movie soon. Who knows?
what is besides American Idol? What is you have another hidden talent?
Um, I mean, other than American Idol, I think it's mostly just me being an entertainer, and I'm the guy that gets out there. I'm just like you know, any other ordinary guy that's out there. But the thing about me is I love to share music with the world, and you know that's what I hope to do is share my music with the world.
So for somebody who does not know who Zachariah is and they want to, what do you say?
I say go listen to my new single American Grace, and better yet, if you want to see how well I can perform, go to American Idol and look my name up. You will not be disappointed, I don't think.
What was your favorite song to perform on Idol?
My favorite song to perform on Idol was probably, oh gosh, probably "Don't Bring Me Down" by ELO, or better yet, "Lucille" by Little Richard. I had a lot of fun with that one.
If there was somebody who you would love to go on tour with, who would it be?
If I could go on tour with somebody, I would definitely want to go with Chris Stapleton. I think that you know he's one of those guys that you know goes out there and has fun. I also honestly I think that Luke Combs would probably be the guy. I mean I love Chris, but Luke it would probably be Luke. Yeah, Luke Combs would be the guy I'd want to go on tour with.
Have you ever thought about asking Luke Bryan for us to write a song or work on a song?
I've never thought about asking him to work on a song, but you know, you never know what the future holds, and there might be someday that Luke and I sit down and we may write something together.
Do you guys still keep in touch?
Oh yeah, I mean we all keep in touch with everybody, and that's one of the cool things about Idol is you know we all stay in touch, and you know they're there to guide us and you know help us try to make our way through the music industry. So it's great that you know we're still able to keep in touch with everybody.
What was the most difficult moment of Idol for you?
The most difficult moment of Idol for me was, you know, once you get to these live rounds, you realize, you know, you're away from home, you're not with family anymore, and so you're out here trying to change your family's life, and you know, you have to put on that game face, and it can be hard. It's not easy.
So, I'm done with the questions, but I am going to read you some comments from fans. The first comment is, he is an awesome singer. He's going to do good things and go far. You are a truly gifted singer. Love your voice, and he's going to go far. How does that make you feel when you hear stuff like that?
Wow, I mean, when I hear stuff like that, it's you know, it's very humbling, and all I can say is thank you and God bless you. I mean, I've gotten so much great feedback from this season and just from being an artist in general. So I appreciate my fans very much.
My last and final question, do you have any organizations or charities that you're a part of?
I don't have any organizations or charities that I'm a part of just yet. But you know, hopefully I could get with some charities. I would love to, you know, help out people in need, and that's who I've always been. So hopefully, you know, somebody will want to work out a deal and we can make that happen.
Well, thank you so much, Zachariah, for being on my show. I truly appreciate it.
Absolutely, Brian. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Bye bye.